had cause to discuss these sensitive issues with some of our neighbors, family members, not just in Benue State here, but it seems to be a worldwide problem. The problem of insecurity has become a thorn in the flesh. I am personally worried because looking at the whole situation, it looks as if majority of the people who are involved with these things are the youths. And one begins to wonder whether the failure is with the parents, or the religious organizations, or the schools, or wherever it is. But as time goes on, we shall dig into the matter and find out. So, all said and done, Mr. Nongo and everybody listening to us there, if somebody somewhere is not worried, I am personally worried, and some people, well-meaning Nigerians and outside people worldwide, almost everybody is visibly worried. That is what I have to say.
All right, Mr. Ohiga, you are the youth leader, and oftentimes when the situations, even your co-panelists has already alleged the involvement of youth. Tell us the extent to which, as a youth leader who has been working with community youths, whether you are satisfied with the current security situation, the resurgence of pockets of criminal activities in our domains, especially here.
Is becoming worrisome compared to years back. In recent time, we have a series of reports from our various communities within our own jurisdiction. Then Makurdi of Benue State at large, we got different reports from different corners, especially the recent one is of snatching of motorcycle, popularly called Okada. Then this housebreaking theft. We have series of cases compared to few years back. So it's becoming it's coming up day and night. So it's something really to worry about.
Okay, now, Mr. Akoya, let's look at this situation. What can community policing be? I mean, to what extent can community policing initiatives be used in our domains, in our settlements, to encourage security consciousness amongst the residents?
Thank you very much. It's not just once we have been on this program, and it's not just today we are talking about the issue of community policing and so on. We are told that our constitution was copied from the United States of America, and we are also told that in that constitution there is also provision for community policing. I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I wouldn't know. I've just been told. And I also said here that some of us were wondering why that section of the Constitution was left out, because the earlier we did that thing, the better. So it's necessary. And before the issue of the community policing, when a child is born, first contact of the child is with the parents. After that, maybe it goes to the religious center or to the schools. So our own primary concern, to my own personal opinion, is the parents are the best police community unit to train up the child. That is what even the good book says. We train up a child. If we, the parents, do so, the work of the community, the work of the armed forces, the work of other people will become, even the school, their work will become less. It's either we, the parents, were failed in our duty to train the children, or we are training them, but they are not taking the instruction, or both. It's what baffles me today. But in our own days, things were not like this, I must confess. It was not the best, but in our own days, we didn't see such things like this.
All right. Now, Mr. Ohiga, in view of this resurgence of some pockets of criminal activities, which some of which you outlined, what initiatives are generally youth leaders like yourself taking to strengthen security consciousness within our domains, collaboration with the conventional security forces?
Actually, we say that community policing is a strategy developed by the law enforcement agency. The relationship that exists between law enforcement agency and the community they serve, and we have a relationship that exists between the police and the community, which has to do with the elders of the community, the stakeholders, the traditional rulers, and the youth. And in my own community, we try our best to do. We try our best in such a way that we are one. We first of all unite the community, and we have a very good relationship that exists between the youth, the elders, the traditional rulers, and the stakeholders. Then we try as much as possible to create a relationship between the community and the law enforcement agency. Our close security outfit is E Division. So anytime we have a serious case, we always call them so that they will come and continue with the investigation. Years back, I think I can beat my chest that we have good records. But in recent time, and be one, being supported by the elders of the community, the traditional rulers, and to an extent, an issue came out. Like we were doing our vigilante group on our own at the community level, and the support were coming from the elders, the traditional rulers, the stakeholders. But this issue of, government is trying to collaborate with the vigilante group, they will be paying them like that. Maybe at the end of the day, few persons will be selected to maybe go to the next level. Then the other one may feel neglected. Maybe something is not coming out of it. Nobody to kind of support them in a way. Then they have to relax. You understand? So relaxing, then those boys normally switching because they normally move up. Now I see areas that have loopholes. Then they start switching in again. So at this point, at times we find it difficult. But if the relationship is there, if the cooperation, the partnership is there, the youth, the traditional rulers, community leaders, and the police, if the relationship is there, I think it can go far beyond what we think. I think we can give them the best, maybe even 40%. Then they will look for 60 as law enforcement agency. But the relationship is not forthcoming because of we are lacking partnership. So we have to create an environment that partnership exists between the community and that of law enforcement agency.
All right. Now, Mr. Kogia, to what extent can our communities and neighborhoods be encouraged to stand together in unity with the youth associations and other conventional security forces to discourage crime within their communities?
Thank you very much, sir. There must be collaboration, there must be unity, there must be oneness, there must be togetherness to curb this issue of insecurity. Insecurity is everybody's responsibility worldwide, in Benue State, in Nigeria, in Africa, and beyond. It's your own responsibility, it is my own responsibility. So it's not a one-man show. The parents, the government, the students, the law enforcement agents, the traditional rulers, the farmers, the traders, everybody. You must be your brother's keeper. In those days, when you saw somebody's child doing something wrong, whether it's your child or not, you just correct the child to make sure that he's doing the right thing. It's everybody's responsibility. So there must be that cooperation. It's not a one-man business. The government must come in, the parents must come in, the schools, primary school, secondary school, tertiary institutions, law enforcement agents, traders, everybody, the youth themselves, the elderly people, everybody and everyone must collaborate together to fight this monster before it gets out of hand as it's trying to get.
Okay, Mr. Ohiga, there was this incident reported within your domain of Onopaya, where it was alleged that somebody snatched a motorcycle and jungle justice was meted on him. Is it true that at the level of communities, when you are faced with crimes committed, you resort to jungle justice?
Well, actually, I'm aware of the incident, but unfortunately, I wasn't around, and it's not our to carry out a crime of that nature by carrying out a jungle justice on any youth, caught or thief. But at times those issues escalated, situation result to it, maybe because of the anger, something that is happening repeatedly within your own community, and maybe one is caught, and the youth will have no choice than to try as much as possible to see how a kind of a payback. As a youth leader, you try as much as possible, one, controlling the crowd, trying to prevent a crime to occur of that nature, then trying to reach the law enforcement agency, either by calling them as an emergency, and reaching them is the other way around. So at times you try as a youth leader, as a community leader, you try to see how you correct the wrong, but to an extent you are dealing with a crowd. So like that very issue, at the end of the day, the youth were highly against the crime being committed. It's not the first time or second or twice. And when they started rushing, coming to see that they caught a thief here and there, as a leader, you are trying to prevent what may occur. And some will be like, you are even in support of it, and the pressure, the only people to rescue you immediately is the police, which calling them immediately for them to urgently report there is another thing. Maybe it will take them like 1 hour or even 2 hours before they will report to the scene of the incident. So on that very case you mentioned here, the youth in a way overpowered maybe the youth leader or people who were trying to control that the jungle justice should not occur. And if you observe, at the end of the day, we managed the situation. Police came in, took him, and he ended up dying in the police custody because of the beating by the youth. So that was just the challenge. So we try as much as possible. As a youth leader, I try my best. If I have cases of that nature, I call the police urgently to take over from where I stopped. So it's not a deliberate act.
All right. Now, Mr. Kogia, what role can community leaders play in promoting community policing and building trust, both in the youth and conventional law enforcement agencies to prevent crime in our communities?
Yes, it's just repeating what we have been saying and repeating and repeating and repeating. When the issue of community policing comes up, which we are hoping it will come, and we are expecting it to come, the people who are going to serve in that unit or in that force will be the people that are known to the community. The traditional rulers.
Now, I apologize to interrupt you. By community policing here, like you acknowledged earlier that security is everybody's business.
Yes.
By community policing here,
Yes.
are we looking at members of the police force recruited, or members of the community taking an active role, like the youth leader with you and other persons within the community to form a vanguard against their own community?
If it is a vanguard we're referring to, which by implication I look at it as a sort of community policing of a sort,
Okay.
which is not that it is government backed up, but at the local level now we call them policing, community policing. If we form that group, the community is aware. That was where I was going. The community is aware. The traditional ruler is there. The traditional rulers are there. The parents of these children, the neighbors, and we come together and we say, this is what we want in our community. This is what we don't want in our community. And of course, we have a leader. The youth leader is there, and the traditional leader is there, and we also involve the religious organizations within that community. It's, as I've said, it's everybody, like some black sheep in that company, in that community. We fish them out and hand them over to the law enforcement agent to handle the case, so that we will have peace. We have peace in our community, we have peace in our state, we have peace in Nigeria and beyond.
Between community youths and the law enforcement agencies in preventing crime in some of our communities?
Well, actually, if we build a relationship between the community and the law enforcement agency, it will help a lot, because at a community level, you know your own terrain, and the police, they are trained to carry out law enforcement agency have been trained to see how they can come in and help the community to reduce crime at the community level. So if there is a relationship that exists between the community and law enforcement agency, at the community level, the community leaders are there, the traditional rulers are there, the youth are there, they will form a column, they are one. Then the bridge, the relationship there is paramount. Then the police coming in, they can get any information they want. In a situation whereby the bad eggs are within the community, the same community, I believe, they will still know them. So if the relationship is there, then we fish out the bad ones, then give to the police to investigate them or prosecute them as well. But if there is no relationship, everybody is on his own, it will be difficult for them to work, for them to carry out their duty. But you know, in some communities, the relationship is not there. Everybody is on his own. The youth, they are doing their own thing. The elders don't care. The traditional rulers, they are on their own. So there is no relationship between the law enforcement agency and the community. So they find it difficult. If an incident occurs, the police will come on their own, then arrest somebody and go. So how are you going to trace it? You don't have questions because there is no relationship. But if you build relationship, once you got an information, the police will call the youth leader, what is happening in your area. Maybe the youth leader will say, okay, Oga, you have to be here on time. This is what is happening. That is the relationship. Then the youth now, if they have a good relationship with the police, they have to report immediately that this is what is going on in our community. You have to report. Then I think it will reduce crime in a very long way.
All right. We've now been joined here in the studio by the Benue State Chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, Mr. Francis Ihiongo. Welcome to Perspectives, Mr. Ihiongo. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Before you joined us, your co-panelists had already started and were giving a background. And now that you are here with us, let's have your thoughts as the chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee in the state. How concerned are you about the resurgence of some pockets of criminal issues rocking our communities, especially in Makurdi, the Benue State capital?
Thank you very much. We are saddened that these things are happening in the 21st century, where Nigeria is supposed to be a developed nation by now and not just developing. Sadly enough, we still allow all these barbaric things to happen, to take place in Nigeria, especially Benue State. The PCRC has constantly engaged the communities, the police, the youth, and many other stakeholders, including the traditional rulers, on how to give timely, concise, credible, and correct intelligence to the Nigeria police, and by extension all other security agencies, so they can come out in good time and respond to such a distress cause by curbing whatever menace is being reported. We want a situation where we prevent and not to go there and solve the issue. Once it is being hatched and members of the community, the respective communities, are aware such a thing is going to happen, it is time for them to call the Nigeria police and any other security agencies to rise to such occasions. And so our hands are on deck to ensure that we need this into the board.
All right. We're talking about our hands being on deck is very assuring and interesting to hear. As you may have noticed, some criminal issues reported within the state capital, suspected court clashes, snatching of motorcycles from their riders, phone snatching. A couple of days, we also investigated the situation in Gado Villa, part of the state capital, where there have been resurgence of house breaking and all that. As the chairman of the police community relations committee, what can communities do on the basis of basic tips for community policing so that we prevent these crimes from happening in our domains?
Yes, Mr. Nathaniel, let me first and foremost inform you that there is no way an outsider can come into your radio station and cut away valuable materials in areas where these materials are well hidden without you or any other person working within this environment knowing about the invasion. And so what I'm saying is that if the Gado Villa and any other community wants to be very peaceful, it starts with them. It starts with the community. So there is no way these hoodlums will come from anywhere and snatch motorcycles, rape women, steal, and go scot-free without the people within that community knowing about whoever must have come and what time they came in there. They are not ready to volunteer information to the police and other security agencies, just like I said. But there is PCRC present in all the 23 local governments of Benue State. And that is about 35 divisions of our police headquarters. And so nothing stops you and any other person from joining us. And what are our core duties? We give the police timely information. We build trust. We do community engagement. We are there also on our advisory role too. We do conflict resolution. We do education awareness. We create the awareness. And we support in so many different ways. And so you cannot just sit back and expect the police to come and walk when they don't know exactly what is happening. And so the people coming into these various places to do all these things are not ghosts, and they are being brought by the people within that same community. It is when we rise to the occasion by telling ourselves enough is enough. We do not want to see them here again, and you won't see them. Thank you.
Okay, just before I get to another panelist, talking about volunteering information and also getting the PCRC, that's the Police Community Relations Committee, involved. To what extent have you engaged the police command on these issues with devil in our community, especially the Gado Villa experience, because it seemed to be a reoccurring issue, and now it has also spiked at this time that we speak.
Yeah, it might interest you to know that as the chairman of PCRC, the constitution is very clear that the police public relations officer of the Benue State Command, CSP Sewesi Catherine Anene, is the state secretary of PCRC. So she's part of us, and we are part of them. So that is the synergy that we have.
All right. So, which is to say that maybe this issue at the level of PCRC, I don't know how the structures of the PCRC operates, but maybe there's a presence of PCRC in the Gado Villa settlement area, and have you, as residents in community engagement, tried to draw the attention of the police more closely to look into what is happening in that part of the state capital?
Yes, we have few members of PCRC in Gado Villa. But what used to happen in other communities is not happening in Gado Villa. For instance, at judges' quarters, whenever they hold their landlord meetings, the DPO and the chairman of PCRC E division are drafted in to attend the meetings, know their challenges, and then find a way of solving such problems. We've tried to do same at Gado Villa, but we've never had any such meeting with members of that community, with the police, and then members of the leadership of PCRC. And that is why I told you earlier that should Gado Villa wants their issue solved, it is members of that same community that can proactively solve their problems.
All right. Now, Mr. Kogia, let's look into the extent to which communities are willing to volunteer information to law enforcement agencies and come together to solve their problems by themselves, if I should borrow the words used by your co-panelists in the second one.
Well, communities vary from one community to another, one local government to another, one location to another, one state to another, one country to another. And I don't want to say that in every 12 apostles there would be a Judas. If there was one Judas among the 12, which was less than 10%, one hopes that in such communities we don't have bad eggs. I don't know, I wouldn't know, but if there is, because you cannot exonerate everybody and anybody in such situations. I'm not talking about isolated cases or special cases, but just generally. So as people say, charity begins at home. If the community can rise up, like our leader here is saying, and say, we don't want this, let's come together, we don't want this in our community, it will not happen. But if we are not careful of what is happening in other community, you will not know that the thing is coming to you. If you don't take care of yourself, don't think that that place is very far, because a wild animal that can catch a goat and start eating, if he sees a chicken, it will not spare it. So to be forewarned, to be forearmed, we see what is happening in that community. It is not pleasant. What best thing is to organize? We organize ourselves. So we organize ourselves. If there are bad eggs there, we warn them. Maybe the families, maybe the children, maybe the youths. But I will assure you, as he rightly said, if anybody wants to cut away any virus from outside, come inside. And at times, in most cases, it is an insider. It's the rat that is inside the house that will go and invite the other ones outside. And let's deal with that rat that is in the house, that black sheep. And when we do that one, as he rightly said, I just love he just giving us information of how the landlords in judges' quarters organize themselves. It's a very good arrangement. If other people, parts of the town, part of the state, or even the country, if they can borrow a leaf from that good example of judges' quarters, I think we'll move forward by the grace of God.
Anyway, judges' quarters is an elite environment, maybe one would say. So it shouldn't be a challenge for them to organize and maybe mobilize the right people. In any case, you both are using Agate Radio as an example, but let me issue a disclaimer that we at Agate Radio, we are guided by an ethical code of conduct in such a way that we operate with no saboteurs.
We are just giving an example.
So I just want to
it can be anywhere.
Let that serve as an indemnity.
Yes, thank you very much. But
All right.
it's just an example.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Ohiga, talking about getting a landlords association here to work together with the youth organizations or community vanguards against crime within the domain. To what extent, as a youth leader in your community, has success been achieved in that area? And are there saboteurs within that bring outside rats within to bring outside rats to join them in leading them to where the fish is in the house, as I left by your co-panelists?
I think I will give my own community credit to that, because of we have so organized. Sitting here myself, and we have 5 different youth organizations.
Okay.
1, we have Landlords and Tenant Association, Shungubongo Community. I'm a youth leader of Nyongose Family Association. I was one time president, Nyongose Family Association. I am the secretary, vigilante group.
You have a top profile.
Yes, so I am also the youth secretary, Honor Occupy Youth Association. We are not just doing that, we are creating relationship. It's a strategy to reduce crime in our own community. And if you go around Makurdi, if they ask you the most coolest environment, they will mention Honor Occupier, because we strategize Honor Occupier to a point that you will hardly heard cases of courtesan. You hardly heard cases of these social vices. We have a very big football field in Honor Occupier. If you go there in the evening, majority of my youth are always there. We not just go there to play ball, but to interact. Then, to an extent, we advise on the level of crime being committed. At times, we sit as youth, we ask questions to ourselves, where exactly these issues are coming from. Somebody will just wake up and, a house is being broken and his belongings are being carted away. And you'll be wondering, the youth are well organized. Where is this stuff coming from? Then you have to put in another strategy again. You call for a ESCO meeting immediately to see how exactly where the problem is coming from. Recently, someone was building a house within the environment, and the overhead tank was stolen there in the site that cost almost 500,000 naira. So the youth are involved. As he likely said, when the report come to our office, we switch into action. We just arrest one person. By the time you ask 1 or 2 sensitive questions, another person will be involved. Imagine the overhead tank was recovered in Boko. then sold it at the cost of 50,000 naira. Something then bought 500,000 naira. This issue, we did not even involve the police. You report your complaint. Let's see how we can switch into action and see how we can help. So at the end of the day, we recover the overhead tank. We present it back to the owner. So as he likely say, an insider, the bag egg among you must be involved. There is no way an outsider will come to your own terrain and penetrate and go freely. Somebody must be involved. That may be instigate. If you come this particular time, you can, then they easily penetrate during that and they will go. Maybe at the end of the day, they end up selling the whatever they go away with. Then they will call you and maybe give you your own share. But if a community is well organized, as I was saying, at least you know your own environment at the base. You know the youth that are coming up, that are eager to, then don't just start. You see a young average boy of 15 years started smoking. Then you know that something is wrong. At times we call the parent to order. Please observe this, your word is going extra mile. The parent may say, actually this young man, you people should help me, take care, handle him. Your own son, a child of who is less than 18 years, you are telling another person to assist you, help you, take care of him. It's bad. Parents have to sit up. You have to train your children the way they will go. It will help. Like Daddy said here, it always starts somewhere, from the family, then you have the school, then the community, then from there. Police is just a helping hand. If the youth are ready, the work is very easy, because they will do the work and the police will do the finishing, because they are well trained. An issue is going on in my community, I know that this one is a thief. Then I know what to do. We mobilize ourselves as a youth, we arrest the person, then we call the police, come and take him away. Make sure you do the needful, investigate very well and give us back the report. But the work is very difficult. Let me be frank. To a point, I have answered 1 or 2 cases. Somebody stole something, you arrest him, maybe because you are not trained enough.
Yes.
You mishandle the person. To an extent, you take the person to the police will say, go back and take him to the hospital. Make sure you treat him before you bring it back to us. So at times, maybe you rough handle the person.
Yes.
The case will bounce back on you. You understand? At times, you stole something, you come to me as a youth leader, I accept whatever you stole. I said, okay, you can go. I take whatever you stole back to the owner. The owner will say, that is not what they stole from me. Those things you bring here is just half of it. At times, they will use the opportunity to increase on certain things. Then you will be the one to face the case. Maybe you are trying to help. You are trying to correct the person. Don't do it again. Then the case will bounce back on you. Maybe the person will go straight and report you to the police that you have abet. You join hand forces with the person to rob. You understand? Then you try to explain. It's only the relationship that exists between you and the police will save you. At times they will say, no, we have known this one for years. This one is always good. It's always giving us first-hand information. So let's dig into the matter. At times, you know the person, you go and bring the person. This was the person that committed the offense. Then from there, police will continue with their investigation. What if the person escaped? Then they will hold you responsible. Then you answer what you don't know. I have nothing about it. So at times, we face those challenges. But in a way, as you are saying, partnership, relationship, community has to come together to form that unity, associations. It helps. You report to your traditional rulers, you report to elders of your community, then the police will now come in. The work is very smooth. If we are all doing that, I think we can go a long way to reduce crime in our various communities.
It sounds quite interesting that maybe the network of youth, like you mentioned, in a community, if a crime occurs, for instance, if a phone is stolen in a certain house and the youth leader says that fund should come back. They know their network on how that fund should get back.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Ihyongo, talk to us the extent to which community associations, or maybe neighborhoods associations, landlords, tenants can organize and also work in synergy with youth in communities to strengthen and encourage them to be the eyes of the community in terms of tackling this crime wave, pockets, minor ones within the communities.
Yeah, it is very simple. If you go to Tigi community, I believe you know Tigi community.
Yes.
If you go to Tigi community, for instance, they have, I'm on the platform of that community. I've been there for years now because there are so many members of PCRC who are residing within that same community. And if you get to Tigi community, they decided to organize their landlord association. They got it registered. They also have their youth security wing that is working 24/7 to ensure that they sleep with their two eyes closed. They have their women associations, so they have so many groups, and these groups are also checkmating all the bad things within that community, and so it is easy and safe for them. Now, other communities can follow suit by forming the associations, including maybe neighborhood watch, and then you can also form some kind of a local vigilante group. Even if it is not the government approved groups, you can form it and then get the nearest police station informed that you have so persons on ground. You put their names on paper, take it to them, and these people will now regard this leadership and to explain what they notice, what has happened, what they think can be done to nip whatever must have happened to the bird and the rest. But let me express my dismay that even though we have three wings of or three committees of PCRC, mine is the main, the mother PCRC, where I'm the state chairman. You also have the women committee and you have the youth committee. The women committee is headed by Barrister Lillian Malami Ondaka Ojijingi, and then the youth wing that was headed by architect Mark Akevishi, and now one Lanshima is holding in brief for him. But it is difficult to bring in the youth, very difficult to bring in the youth. I had the opportunity to invite the man in charge of youth in the state, Honorable Teve Gbenda, I think that's the name. And I told him, I need your youth in the whole state, wherever they are, I need them. So I saw them just once in the police officers' mess in one of the meetings, the state meetings that we had, and that was all. They never came again. And so if you bring the youth together, it is going to be very easy. The youths, the women, the youths and the women, bringing them together, it will be very easy for us to solve our community problems. So the synergy is supposed to be a good one if the youth are willing to partner with us. I believe my co-panelist here does not know what PCRC is. I used to listen to him on radio, but I don't think he's a member of PCRC yet. And
That's Ohiga?
yes, Ohiga.
Okay.
I mean, the youth leader.
Teve, yes.
Teve, yes. And so I don't know, but he's not part of us yet. So by the time he's part of us, he will not have one of the challenges he's talking about, arresting somebody and getting into trouble before you get to the police. What we normally say is the PPRO will always give you the numbers, the distress call numbers that you need, including hers. I also give my numbers anytime I go to the radio. And so once you get a culprit arrested, what you do is you take that person to the police within the specified constitutional time. So you take that person to the police without harming the person. The moment you harm the person, that's jungle justice already. So you need to take the person to the police. It is now the work of the police to commence investigation. You have done the arrest. The Constitution has allowed each and every one of us to make arrests. But once you arrest, within a certain statutory time, you can take such a person to the Nigeria police. It is their duty to investigate. And as you know, many people feel I cannot take somebody to the police, this and that. But the police is not there to punish. They are actually there to reform whoever has gone wrong. They will take you there, tell you exactly what to do and what not to do next. And by the time they find out that you are good to go home, you go home and they keep an eye on you. Once you don't do such a thing again, you don't have a duty going back to the police. So the synergy, it's going to be okay if the youth now agree to come together with us to see that crime and other social vices are reduced to its barest minimum within the state and even beyond.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, Akogia, let's look at the place of families, because the family is one of the most fundamental social units in the society. What role can families play in addressing these issues from the basic unit of the family in terms of guiding their children's conduct properly to refrain from social vices that eventually leads to these crimes that we're talking about in our communities?
Thank you very much, Mr. Nongo, and everybody listening to us. The families are supposed to play the key roles in modeling and remodeling their children, the community, and by extension, the whole nation. Even if you look at the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go, so that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6 is there. God has committed first and foremost the remodeling of the children, of the youth, of the nation into the hands of the parents. Maybe as agents of socialization, I'm not an educationist, but I overhear them talking about agents of socialization. As the child begins to grow up, the first contact of the child is with the parents. Then from there they go to the place of worship, or they go to school, or they go to here, or go to this, to a larger community. So the parents, the families, all these ones I'm talking about, in my own personal opinion, and from what I have gathered and garnered, and from my own personal experience, and the training I received even from the village, the parents, where there is a failure in this issue, the parents have a lot to blame, because as a parent, you have to teach your children even a trade. Teach them a trade. Train them. Thank God the federal government has made FSTC's colleges now free of charge, where students, young people can be learning trade. They have made that place to be free. So youth can go there, you learn tailoring, carpentry, electrical works, plumbing, panel beating. You become self-sufficient. You get something doing. You are gainfully employed. You use your energy to earn a living genuinely. You are not living a questionable life. Unlike, say, go and join a group, go and bring your best friend, go and bring your father, come and sacrifice, come and do ritual. No, you have to tell your children you have value for the community, value for parents, value for money, value for life. You see today, you see children in the neighborhood, children don't greet people, young people, they see you. Even when you make mistake and greet them, they don't answer you, whatever it is. That is not how to bring up your children. You bring them up in a godly manner. And what I'm seeing today, all over, I've seen, it's my own personal opinion. Anyway, the failure is majorly because we have left our family values. We have left our family values. So that in those days, I'm looking for a good wife. It's very logical to say, come to Nongo's family. You will get a good wife to marry. You recommend people. That is how people used to, sorry to be personal, that is how my own mother too got married to my dad. Go to that family, you get a good wife. But now it's becoming difficult. Why is it so? Because our own families, we are forgetting the family values, and by anybody who is listening to me, I'm strongly advising and encouraging Nigerians and beyond that let's go back to our family values. Let's train our children very well before we even think of sending them to school. Because if you are waiting till you send a child to school in 7 years, you have missed it already. You have missed it.
All right. The family values are very important so that you are in the community and your family's name is not becoming a source of scorn because your word or child is being involved in crime within the domain causing headache. All right, dear listener, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Perspectives on iGate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makudi. We are discussing strengthening community policing to tackle crime. We'll take a short breather, and when we are back, we'll be available to engage with you, the listener. Kindly stay with us. Welcome back from that short break, and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, you are listening to Perspectives on iGate Radio 95.5 Star FM Makudi. We are discussing strengthening community policing to tackle crime, especially in our domains within the state capital. And the number for you to participate on the program is 0814-335-9292. Once again, I take the number 0814-335-9292. Let's hear from you and what you make of what we're discussing and the resurgence of criminal activities within our domains, what we can do collectively as stakeholders to address this. The SMS line is 0912-699-9404. Once again, the line for SMS is 0912-699-9404. Remember to include your full name and where you're sending your message from. For the calls, once you connect with us, we're interested in knowing your full name and where you are calling from. Then you make your submission. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Oh, quite unfortunate. We seem to have you on, but your voice is not coming through. 0814-335-9292 is the line to reach us on the program. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Emeka Anyos from North Bank, Macaulay.
Yeah, we're good to have you join us.
Like what you are talking about, insurgency within our domains or within our areas. We can stop all these things by collaborating together as neighborhoods and giving information to the security agents or informing our traditional rulers and our community leaders within us. And when you see something, you say something, and you ask fastly. Don't wait until the thing gets out of hand before you say, had I known, I would have said something. Don't mind. Some people will say, if you talk too much, we will come and do you this. But as a person living within an environment, you happen to see some group of people doing some certain things that are not good. You alert your neighborhood. And that is why I'm saying that the government should do more on making sure that the communities have their own neighborhood security within themselves. Like in other places, I used to see that they give some tokens to those people who are living those areas, and for them to participate by giving information, getting recharge cards, and other things. I believe that if we do all these things, all these boys, all these people who do some certain things within us cannot do it. And again, I'm of the opinion that the government also, who have been trying their possible best, should also make sure that they hold all the leaders accountable. Now, say for example, this Anyanyo, they are working. I believe that if they are working in their community areas, in their units, when people pass information to them, they will go those information. And at the same time, I can also tell you that even our security agents are doing more, but they need information for them to do. Not fake information, but let them give them correct information within our people. I think by doing all these things, our people will live freely within the society. But by the time you start harboring criminals within you, these criminals will terrorize you. And tomorrow you will have nothing to do with them. Or if the criminals go and collect money from somewhere and come and share with you, you will have no moral justification to condemn them. Instead, they will implicate you. So
Thank you very much, Emeka Anyagu. We appreciate your contribution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in. We should not harbor criminals within our communities. Expose them if there are, and give the information to relevant security agencies. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And the guests in the house.
Thank you. Let's know your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Joseph Agobit. I'm calling from Kucho Tebe, back of Chabis.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay. I give kudos for that youth leader in the honor occupier. And if you get something going wrong, if you call police, they will tell you that they're on ground that will give us the number so that we'll make contact with them. Immediately they will come where something is going on. That is my word.
Would that be all from you, Joseph?
Yes.
Appreciate you for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Joseph is worried that the police make excuses, not responding immediately. Well, as far as we here at Agate Radio were concerned, the police public relations officer, the spokesperson, when you reach out to her, maybe she responds to the media, but I think she has always been responding. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. This was a Friday with Fred Ibo calling from Pepper Village.
Ibo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir. The issue of security is everybody's business. However, the people that committed a crime, they are living within us. I don't see any need why we should be keeping them hiding, we should expose them. Sometimes this issue of sentiment comes in, and you are not from this place. Why must you do this? Why must you report that? That thing should be dealt with seriously. And we should be the people. The government, the security agent cannot be everywhere. We should be their eyes everywhere to inform them. And the issue of vigilance or whatsoever this security network issue, it shouldn't be politicized. Sometimes you go to that place, they charge you more than the police themselves. And when you call the police, this is what is happening. They don't respond. We don't have fuel. We don't do this. We don't do this. We don't do this. So it is very well. We should also encourage even the local vigilance and the chiefs, the local chiefs, to strengthen the security issue, and the local youth. The youth also there should be informed. They should also be informed of what is happening. so they too they can take up responsibility. They live in they know the nooks and crannies of the community. They know the bad boys. They should fish them out. Sometimes they call them because they're my brother, they're my sister, they're my friends. It is very, very bad. When we are keeping those things, we look at earthworms. They become pythons. We should expose them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Wilfred Ehibo. We appreciate you. Expose criminal elements and the same issue of police. Anyway, when we come back, I will ask you, the police community relations chairman, to comment on that. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us on Perspectives. Hello. Oh, lost connection with you, but the line is available, 0814-335-9292. Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Okay, yet again we lost the connection. Maybe you seem to be trying again. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good
Welcome
morning.
to Perspectives.
Yes, good morning. My name is Bro Jeremiah Butua, calling from Government College, Makurdi.
You say Betua?
Yes, sir.
Hey, go ahead, Jeremiah. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. I thank the people in the house. I really appreciate the program. There is this thing that has been bothering me. Since they are experts on this, I want to ask them. There are most cases where I hear that in the areas where those soldiers are posted, they don't know what they are supposed to do, and they don't allow the community to have guards, as our people are saying, to bring out rules that the people within the community will be able to see how the insecurity there is going. So I don't know if they will have something to say on that, because it has been a cry, hearing everywhere that the soldiers in those places where they post them in those communities are not allowing the people to have the chance to do what they are supposed to do. And even them, what they are supposed to do, they are not doing. And the other thing I want to appreciate our father in the house so much is that he said every parent should train their children. This is where we are lacking so much. And it is a cry, because I have come to see that within from 80 to 90, these generations are different. From 2000 coming upward, those are the people that I normally see that they are giving us problem now. And what is causing that is that they are not morally trained. So it is a cry that all families should hear this. If the government have anything to do about it, to tell the people, the communities, that they should train their children, they should do it. It's not only the education that matters, but morally, they should be trained also. Thank you.
Thank you, Betua, for calling in. I was about calling you Ehibo. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm Moses Babu calling from Unagric.
Good to have you join us.
You know, there is one aspect that I want to chip in. If you can see now why the crime rate is increased everywhere, and if the security agencies are involved. Like, right now, they do sell drugs, these are drugs, in family houses. And security personnel come there to buy the drugs. So that's why even children of 12, 14 years are not taking these drugs. And most of them is the drug that influence them to commit this crime. So this thing bothers some of us, and you don't know what to do. Even the security personnel are there. So it's found it difficult to bring correction to these things, except the involved, as they are saying, committee leaders like the chiefs, they are involved and go out to police and point out the houses. Even the parents are aware that their children are having hard drugs in their family houses. When you report, you will be at that others are doing, because my son is now making money. So, and the other aspect, the drugs that have to be in charge of arrest. When they arrest somebody, that person has become their agent. They'll be coming there to collect money. So the person now is free. We have gotten a certificate to continue selling the drug. This is what is happening. This is what we see every day. So that's my take.
Thank you, Moses Babo, for that information. It's an allegation anyway. You are alleging that drugs are being peddled, even in family houses. We are going to talk about that, and I believe the authorities are listening and should be able to keep an eye to control that. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to the guests in the house. My name is Brother Emeka Oji, calling from Welfare Quarter.
Emeka Oji, good to have you join us on the program.
So I want to appreciate the issue at hand. It's actually wholesome. And I want to align myself with my colleague here, Alex. The basic, to me, the basic problem stems from parenting. Because when we are young, when we go to school and come back, our parents will go to our belongings. If they see pencil or cleaner that they didn't buy for you, they will question you and they will find out how come about that. And if you are stolen it, or even if it was left behind, you go and return it. But now, are you hearing me?
So we can hear you, Emeka. Go on.
Okay. But now, what happens? Your child is jobless, and you see your child wearing expensive attire, using phones that even we who are workers cannot buy. You keep quiet. Sometimes the parents even pushes their children to get involved in crime. They will be telling them, look at your mate doing this, doing that. What are you doing here? And so the parents are kind of encouraging in some aspects, encouraging this. We attended the PTA meeting the other day, and what I was hearing was saddening me. The school rules and regulations, when they are broken and the teachers take action, the parents will come and harass the teacher. The children should not bring phone to the school. The student will violate that. When the school authorities ask, the parents will come and harass them, make all kinds of allegations. I was even told that a child keep coming to school with bushy hair. And when the hair was cut, the parent came and accused the teacher of using the child's hair to go and do ritual. Or when a phone is seized, the parent will come and accuse the teacher that you transfer so amount of money from the phone, just like the lantern man was saying. So the society has, the parents and the society that have incapacitated the law enforcement agents and other institutions that help us when we were young to maintain that decorum and civility. So the society is now in confusion. I was in the village the other time. I was shocked. Young men were smoking igbo in front of the elders, and they couldn't do anything, which you couldn't even try to do in my time. So we have so many problems that is confronting us, and we can trace it to parenting. So I align myself with the reality that we, the parents, should speak up. There's nothing like children on nowadays. When you say there are children on now, no. The Almighty will hold us responsible at the judgment day if we fail to take care of the children He has given us as Africa. So that is my own contribution. If the parents are listening to me, we have to do our bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Emeka. Thank you for calling in. Emeka Oji from Welfare Quarters Parenting. The failure of parenting is alleging is responsible for increasing crime as social vices. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, sir. Nathaniel and the rest. My name is Okumozisi. I'm calling from North Makodi. You see, in the case of this insecurity, when you see something walking about, you see those policemen, some of those policemen sitting with those wrong boys we are talking about here. You see, even if they are trying to get information from them, at them hanging around with them, smoking with them, drinking with them.
The chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee, I'm going to have your thoughts on some of these that you are getting from the citizens. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you. This is the voice of Sunday Ochiu, playing from Demepe Wadata in my body.
Sunday Ochiu.
Yes, talking of insecurity or community policy, they say charity begins at home. We, the parents, were not doing okay with our children, number one. Secondly, we, the community, were not doing our own duty as it's supposed to, because our people want our own duty as it's supposed to, because our people want to say that when your neighbor house is on fire, you're supposed to carry a bucket of water, go and tell that person to quench it. If not, it will come and escalate to your own. But we community now, when the attackers come, the other community will say, let it be, because it is not their own community. Instead of to join hands and join force to pursue the enemies away. That is a serious thing that we have to look into. The accepting community in this Benue state, they unite together. It is very hard that Fulani will break into that community, because when it happens to community, other communities will get up immediately and they chase them. It Fulani have a fear of going to that community, and I bet that they will not try to go there, because if they go, they will not return. So I'm urging our brothers, most especially in these houses of Gwe West, Togo, Ukum, and Kasinala, join hand the neighboring communities to join hand with them. You know, my father once said that if something pushes you from your house, where are you running to? He said you should remain in your house, let that person come, then your war and your mango tree will join you to fight that enemy. So we should stop running away from the truth. And like Dr. Man talk of soldiers, not everything that human beings see that you will talk. Allow the communities to defend themselves. Most of them are fearing of the uniform people, that if they come out to defend themselves, they will be arrested. And our former governor said, we cannot run away from our community. Let everybody start to defend him or herself. And that was why he was asking government to license some guns so that we can use.
Sunday Ochio, thank you. I think you have made. We appreciate you for calling in. For now, it's not the right to defense we are talking about anyway. It's a basic community level, what we need to do to keep an eye in our neighborhood to prevent crime for now. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning, Natalia Nongo and your guests in the studio.
Thank you for joining us.
My name is Friday Obodo from International Market Road.
It's good to have you on the program.
The issue of community police is part of us already, and each and every one of us are part of the security as far as the community is concerned. I would like to start on this note. One of our issues is that when you give information to security people, they don't act on the information. They will tell you based on some logistic issues. I will give 3 areas of crime in Makurdi that the security agencies are aware of. Okewe in the street, Dan Okewe in the street, before Dunamis Church. There's a pharmacy that is there before. They sell drugs. It's a place for the sale of ice, rock, and other form of substances that youth are taking to destroy themselves and commit crime. This can be verified. If you go there now, as I'm talking to you, you will see these boys sitting there doing nothing. The uncompleted storage building before Dunamis by the left, they will jump into it. That's where they go to take this substance. The second one is this. In the past 1-2 weeks, Ganabe, after welfare quarter, nobody has been able to go there to their farm because there are Fulani people there that people are afraid of going to farm there. These informations are also available to the people to verify. Now, Agate Radio is giving us the opportunity to also speak about these things so that government will be able to act on some of this intelligence and work on it. I've given 2 informations. We have other areas in this town that court boys gather at high level. That court boys gather is a known place. The name of the place, if you go there, security are aware that this place is a known place for court activities. But nobody goes to the place because they are afraid of the person who is there gathering these people to perpetrate this crime. I want the security agency, I will not say more than this, so that the security also know this place. They should go there and unbundle this act. I will now come to the solutions. Part of the solution is people should not be afraid of reporting crime. People should be bold to report to security agencies, even though you find it difficult at times, because when you report, you discover that the people did not respond to the report. That's one of the things. And then sometimes you are also sold out that you are the one that goes to report this crime. The boy that was killed along International Market Road who stole bikes about a month plus ago is known in the society to steal bikes. He has been arrested before and then he was let loose. I am encouraging both the security people, the uniform, to encourage the community to give them information that will help. That will also take the place of the community leaders within this community. They should be able to champion the boys around the area who are the youths, not to harbor people who engage in criminality in the society, to be able to expose. Government should also give informations to the security, because sometimes the information first go to the national advisor on security, and then sometimes the informations are not worked on. When the information get to that desk, it should also be disseminated to the various security. Whatever it takes for them to be able to stop this crime should be also furthered by the government empowerment to this security agency to be able to cut this crime out. Another thing is government should encourage the community to do what is called community policing. Not that today they will ban it, next tomorrow they open it. This is my submission this morning, and God bless you. God bless Benin State.
Thank you very much, Friday Ogbodo. We appreciate you for calling in. We believe the authorities are listening, and some of the concerns that you raised as allegations, they should investigate them and see if there's element of truth in it to unbundle or dismantle such syndicates, if at all there are. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Perspectives.
Yeah, hello, good morning. This is Hanongon David from Woko Market.
The other name, Hanongon who?
Hanongon David, calling from Woko Market.
Okay, Hanongon David, please go ahead.
All right, my own opinion on this issue is about this insecurity. The last caller, Friday, I love his boldness in the way he spoke about it. Actually, it's very, very touching to, our policemen in the state, in the capital, actually, they don't like them responding to issues quickly. Like, let me say the stealing about this Okada and all of this. Recently, just a month ago in Woko Market, it was on Sunday.
Hello, David, are you there? Hello, David? Oh, quite unfortunate. David, you are on, but your voice is no longer coming through to us. I'm afraid we may disconnect with you. But the line is available. If you're able to connect back or send us an SMS, that'll be fine. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Perspectives.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, this is Vincent Ako. I'm calling from Wadata.
Have you joined us, Vincent?
Thank you very much, sir. You see, I want to first of all greet your guests in the studio. They have spoken very well. You see, this issue of insecurity is something that all of us will say something. We'll be the same people that will be asking you before you come down to see the thing for yourself. Like Wadata, where I'm calling from, this issue of boys misbehaving anyhow, somebody will come and start asking you that what is your business. And sometimes even the policemen have been listening to all the callers. They are not lying. They are saying the truth. Sometimes the policemen too do connive with them. If you dare say anything, the same policemen will go and point at you that you were the person that said it, and then they will come after you. But for me, Vincent Ako, I'm not afraid of anyone. They all know me. I'm not afraid of them. And then talking about the issue of sometimes soldier men being posted to our rural community to kind of protect life and property, they are not conversant to the place. and they are not ready to even cooperate with the local people there in order for them to be conversant with the terrorism. I met one of them and I asked them that why have they been behaving like that. They told me clearly that they don't want to have anything to do with some people in Benue State if they are posted to their place, because if they decide to mingle with them, the same people will still kill them, collect their arms, and then kind of go ahead and be using the arm just as they bring them. So that's the reason why if they are posted to any place, they will be doing their own alone. They don't mingle with the people. As a matter of fact, they told us that Benue people are fond of killing them, killing military men, so they don't want to mingle.
Vincent, for purpose of our engagement, certain terms are too strong for us. The killings, we are trying to discourage killings.
I'm discouraging it in totality. It's not good. They shouldn't be doing that. Their main work is to protect life and property, and not to come and kind of be tagging us as military killers or whatever. Yes, that's what.
Thank you, Vincent. We appreciate you. I'm sure we should end it at that, because some of the terms you are using are getting inappropriate for our conversation. And let it be stated categorically that the views and opinions of callers on this program are solely theirs and not that of our Gate Radio, including those of the panelists on the program. And of course, we should correct an impression that we are talking about community policing. One, of course, as far as we are concerned, the police is the civil authority that gives policing cover to people, citizens in our communities, far more than the military. So let it be clear, be clearly established. All the same, your submission is made. Good morning and welcome to Perspective.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
My name is Sunday Ogenyi, calling from behind Correctional Service.
Ogenyi, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. In fact, I so much like the program, because issue of security is something that's affecting every one of us in Nigeria today. But number one thing, let our security agency sit up and collaborate with the community youth. Because we, as a community, you knew every bad person in your community. But what scared me most is that if you report someone to the police today, this is the person causing problem in our community. Police will come and pick the person in the morning and return the person in the evening. And the same person will come after you, because it has happened to me. So if you can pass that kind of vital information to police, and they saw the evidence, and they are still leaving the person, what are they trying to do? They are trying to, kill you, that make the distance, give the information. So let them be first. If you see what is going on in this country today, issue of security, the number one problem, be me observing, seeing with my eyes, is our security agency. There is so much bad eggs in our security agency. Last 2 weeks, I've been in Wuruku Market to get something. They are beating one boy. I involve police. Because of all, you want to collect just 200 naira. Look at the way you are beating this boy. Almost, look at blood everywhere. I called the police from E Division. There is no response until those boys beat this boy. This boy is just selling coconut. How much is this coconut? How much profit is he making? And they want to collect 200 naira from him. When I want to tell them, say I should get out. What's concern me? So let them look in. There is some kind places where our security agency is supposed to be there with mufti. It's not with mufti observing, show their, if there is a place like Ankpakota Junction, no bank, that Yaman, what's so called, then Wuruku Market, all those said we're supposed to have our security agency on ground here. But if we cannot protect ourselves, we are expecting that someone will come and protect you. I don't think will happen in this country, what I'm saying. So thanks. That's my little
Thank you, Sunday Ogenyi. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, let's pause the calls temporarily and come back to the studio. And I'll begin with you, Mr. Hyongo. Many of the callers we have taken are alleging that sometimes, as part of their community policing initiatives, they have an information of an impending security threat. in their domain. Such information is made available to the police in terms of volunteering it, but they never act or make excuses. As a chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee in the state, are you aware of such development in our communities as alleged by many of the callers who called in here? And to what extent have you conveyed this to the police authorities in the state?
Yes, I must confess that I am aware that most of the times when they call the police will give a lot of excuses. But I wish to give them the numbers of our control room, the police control room, Benue State Command. If the police in your respective divisions cannot act accordingly, the numbers you should call should be those of the Benue State Control Room at the Police Command. And the control room knows exactly what to do, what to tell the divisions or whatever to do. I am not saying that the police divisions cannot work. They are working. If you go to the Wadata, somebody is talking about, there is this new DPO that is there that is doing a very good job. A whole lot of you can attest to the issue of courtism in A division, that is the Wadata axis. So if you are privileged to have the number of the DPO and you call him directly, he can respond within a very, very short time. The one of E division is also doing the same thing. But where you don't have their numbers, you can simply call one of these two control room numbers and they will come to your assistance. I don't know whether I'm free to give the numbers.
Well, feel free. This is for the benefit
so
of public interest.
for some of you with your biros or your pen, especially
provided you are certain, of course, you relate with the police
yes,
at the level of your PCRC.
Yes,
so
there's no issue.
Those are the control.
There's no issue about
that. They have a provided for you to make available to the public. Of course,
there's no issue about that.
All right.
Especially Friday, who complained about the Ukewende and the Genabe and one other issue. And the last caller also talked about Yaman Park and the Urukum Market, about illegal levies and the rest. So you can simply call 0706 7374 913. Let me repeat this number again, 0706 7374 913. Benue Control Room number for the police. The second one is 0806 6006 475. I take that again, 0806 6006 475. The moment you call the control room, there is no way you can call the control room and any of these numbers won't answer immediately. They stay there 247, that is 24 hours for 7 days.
Yes, apologies to interrupt you on that. Answering, of course, to be fair to the police and the callers, they acknowledge that they answer, but responding has never been there. When they answer, they make excuses why they will not be available at that time.
Yeah, well, I was arriving at that too. I also wanted to give my number.
Okay, fine.
Why am I here? I am here for the community, and that is why we call it the Police Community Relations Committee. It's a committee that has to do with both the uniformed police officers and then members of the public. So I am part of the public.
Yes.
And if members of the public are complaining, I am the one complaining. And so I am supposed to serve as a bridge between the community and the police, and then the police and the community. So once you have my number and you call these people and they cannot respond, or you have bad responses from them, please don't fight them. Call my line and let me give you these two numbers, 0803 290 4610. I repeat that again, 0803 290 4610. The last number is 0802 980 4708. I take that again. 0802 980 4708. Once you call them and you don't have any good responses or they cannot respond to you swiftly, please call me directly, and then you will see the response. I'm sorry for whatever is happening. I cannot take the whole responsibility, but at least I have the opportunity to let the police hierarchy, especially the Commissioner of Police, know how the public is feeling about our operations in the state generally. Thank you very much.
Very well. Now, Mr. Kogia, one of the callers also alleged bad spots where, and even according to him, even the relationship of the uniform men with the bad eggs seemed to be that of a romance that compromises the confidence of the people in them. And he also, another person alleged the issue of selling of hard drugs in residential areas, in family homes. Talk to us the threat this poses to security, and what as families, residents in our neighborhoods, as landlords, we can do to control such.
Thank you very much, sir. The person, the caller, thank God for what he said. Thank you very much for, he has seen it according to him. That is why he's alleging that such and such a thing is happening. Luckily enough, our PCRC, what the public relation, the police community relation officer is here. He's also hearing our youth leader. Is also here, and they have also given us the number, the control room numbers. And since they are here, my suggestion is that two of them should collaborate together and take it up personal and make sure that the right thing is done so that we can sleep with our two eyes closed, not just in Makurdi here, because if what he's saying is so, is what he's alleging is so, it is possible that it's happening in other local governments, other states, and other countries, but we are limiting ourselves to Makurdi here. So my good suggestion is that our two gentlemen that are here, they should put heads together, even if it means taking it up to the higher authority, so that there will be peace in this state and beyond.
All right. A few more engagements and then we'll come back. Good morning and thank
Hello.
you for joining us.
Good morning, sir.
Come to Perspectives.
Hello. Thank you, sir. You are welcome. I'm Daniel Igba from George's Quarters.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes, I want to complain about Wadata. I don't suppose they are not disciplined. They are the one looking for trouble. I don't want to mention the other little one. They're always looking for problem. Every now and then, when you report to their so-called headers, they will say, no, they are here around, whatever have you. Because whether they are brought to a police that they say they should go and take permission from their youth leader. It will not happen, it's water and what have you. Once it happens, they say, no, I get the boys and what have you. I think I went to A division, I must be frank. I don't know whether they don't know why they are there. So we need to adjust for the sake of peace.
What exactly was your experience in Wadata? You are calling from George's Quarters and reporting somebody in Wadata, so let's understand clearly.
I was having a pigs and goat. Whenever I pass, they call me so many names. I have to open my face cap, and I'm too fond of face cap. You go around my deco, you ask me, they tell you much about me. I don't look for anybody's trouble. They call me so many names. At times I ignore. Abakari is my customer. Just go and do inquiries. They are very loose. They behave like animals. When you talk,
that's inappropriate, Daniel Igba. Every human being is created. Let's end it at that. If it is name calling, I don't know what names they are calling you, but if it is name calling alone, sometimes, of course, if they are teenagers, as teenagers, we could do that. I'm not excusing whatever they did anyway, but every human being is a human being and not an animal as you are presenting. Now, Mr. Ohiga, this same issue of selling of drugs, and even someone has also alleged where suspected cultists gather. What can we do on the path of youth associations who are into this kind of policing initiatives to keep an eye on our environment to prevent boys from grouping, or young people generally from grouping under such guys selling hard drugs, gathering people that could pose a security threat to the community? But just a moment before you speak to that. Good morning and welcome
Hello.
to Perspectives.
Dana back online. Daniel Dana. Hello.
Submission.
Yes, I went to the other Zaki. It was the Honorable representing Makuri South, Douglas Aikia. I went there, they referred me to one Zaki after the burying ground. I went to refer me to the other one at Majisco. For the past, since February up to now, I have not seen him. It's a serious matter because I don't want to take laws into my hands. Those boys behave like animals.
The same thing that I cut you off on the program, you are repeating it. But that's okay. Whatever the issue it is, report it to the official authorities. And that will be the last call we'll take on the program. Mr. Ohiga, you were about to speak to us.
Actually, as I earlier said, those issues are common. And we have to take proactive measures. One, first and foremost, we have to organize ourselves from the side of the youth. If youth are well organized, such things bound not to exist. Because if youth forms columns, forms association, collaborate with the community traditional rulers, then the elders are in support of whatever they are doing in their localities, it will work. A situation whereby maybe one of you, you come board selling drugs, and the youth resist that we can't accept this in our area, so you have to. And even if you are a strong head, maybe you know your own background, where you come from, so you can still report the person to the police. So we observe that this thing is going on in our environment, so can you switch in? So if the police come and maybe you don't have a very good, maybe like the other speaker said, maybe they came and maybe a kind of bribe of a thing and then went back, then you can involve the police public community relation. Then he will know where to take the matter to. Then at the end of the day, maybe the person will be chased away or arrested. The issue of courtesan, community varies. I am always proud of my own community. As I said, the issue started in our own community. Then the youth have to resist. We cannot allow such a thing happens here. If you go to Honor Occupy, we don't smoke in our public school. It's because the youth there stop. We call for a meeting. We say that even if you want to smoke, go to your own house, smoke in there, come back, because it's your social life. But don't come to our community school and be smoking there in the public. We will not accept it, because the order is not everybody will take it. Then we stop there. This issue of courtesan, a situation whereby you see 2, 3, 4 youths gathering in one, something is wrong. If you go close, what they are discussing is different. And if you observe, maybe you will see 1 or 2, at least you will see a wrong person out of them. By the time you say, what are you doing here? Leave this place. Then they will inform others that that place is not a station. Form columns. Then corroborate with traditional rulers, the police. Then I think this issue of courtesan will reduce. And information, you have to, if you see something, you got an information, you have to report immediately, and you know whom to report your information to, because at times you will sell yourself. They are not lying. I see a situation whereby a policeman coming to buy smoke, to satisfy himself. I see a situation whereby a policeman entering into a bed shop, trying to see how he will cash out. So something of this nature. At the end of the day, maybe a challenge is occur, and they are coming to arrest those youth in that shop. When a policeman is involved, who are you going to arrest? So we have cases of this nature. So the only thing here to do is to come together as one and see how we can reduce crime in our own level, at the community level. Then the police, they are there 24 hours to see how they can come in to assist in one way or the other. If we go by trying to like encounters, I've encountered 2 incidents in my own community, but maybe after here, security issues, I still have to discuss with the PCRN so that he will know what to do, how to handle it.
All right. You security people always take that cover of withholding what you call sensitive information. Well, that's okay if it is sensitive information. You don't want it on there, no problem. Now, Mr. Hyungu, we are wrapping up, and this should be your concluding thoughts. These issues are already on our hands, especially now that the rainy season is back. It is alleged that when it is raining, it is always a prone time for some of these criminal elements to go operating. Before you know, a generator is missing in a house, a battery is removed in a car somewhere, and some of these pockets of issues during the rains under the cover of darkness. To speak to the public on basic community policing tips that they should adopt at this time so that we strengthen security within our domains to prevent crime. That should be your concluding thoughts in 1 minute, please.
All right. For those people living inside a well-fenced house, it is expected that before you sleep, you make sure you lock up your gates and your doors very well. And then for those with daughters, girls that attract these suitors, boys, you don't know the type of boy that may come in and the rest. So you try to give strong instructions on when they should return home. It shouldn't be very late in the night when they come in and somebody else also sneaks in and does something bad to the house entirely. And we also encourage a situation where you have at least your torch lights at night, so that by the time you sight anybody from afar, the torch alone, the light or the torch alone may scare the person. By the time you flash it on them, they may decide to take cover, and you have the opportunity to call 1 or 2 persons. And for PCRC too, we have some gadgets that we normally use. There is one gadget that we call shotgun. It's actually like a gun. It's not. It helps a lot at night. There are no bullets in it, but you can use it for any criminals that are coming in at all, even if you are alone in the house. So, but those who are interested, my numbers are already there, and they will get these things for their protection, especially in the nights, so that they are not caught up with these bad elements.
All right. Now, Mr. Kogia, give us your concluding thoughts on ways of strengthening your community policing within our domains, especially from the point of view of landlords, residents associations.
Charity begins at home, though it does not end at home. As landlords, as parents, as teachers, as workers, as normal human beings, reasonable human beings, let's ensure that our homes, our children are well brought up. And if you see something, you should also say something.
And Ohiga, from you as the youth leader, oftentimes it is alleged that when these things happen, the youth always bear the bad name because I don't know why, whether old persons don't get involved, but talk to us generally, message to the youth on ways of discouraging them from involvement in these crimes so that we can have our community safer. In 30 seconds.
Actually, I will, first of all, let me chip into the question you throw to my PCR.
Yes.
Actually, at night, once you are about to sleep, you see that you dial the number of a youth leader on your phone, then you go to sleep with. Then the number of a police officer should be maybe the 3-4 numbers, the youth leader, the vigilante group phone number, or that of police. Because in case of emergency, at times when thief broke into your house, then you are searching for which number to call first. You understand? You search your phone all through night. you cannot even lay your hand on a particular number to call.
Maybe because of the
But
shock.
the first three, if you can dial it before you go to bed, if you have any issues, you understand that you feel like reporting, you understand at night, then you will say, okay, this was the last number I dialed. Then you dial the youth leader's number immediately. My number is always on 24 hours, and across, maybe youth leaders across with that kind of information. Or you want to call the police, then you can rush and dial the number immediately, then they will respond. Then conclusively, actually, we the youth now, we have so many innovations. We have to at least engage ourselves into. We have a lot of trade. You have to learn. Go and learn 1 or 2 trade. What you go around, you see what to do to help yourself. Not necessarily you join the bad eggs among the youth to destabilize our communities. It's not good.
All right. Okay, our time is no longer there, so let's end at that. Francis Hyongu, Benue State Chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, joined us on this edition of the program, which we've discussed strengthening community policing to tackle crime. Engineer Alex Akogia is a Deputy Corps Commander, Nigerian Legion Corps Commissioner, and he's a security analyst. Tebe Ohiga is a youth leader, Shungu Bongo community here in Makodi, and a former member of the Vigilante. Gentlemen, I thank you very much for your valuable time and the insights you have offered on today's edition of the program. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Dear listener, that's our program today. We care about your safety. Stay safe and be security conscious in your domain so that we'll protect our environments to be safer. Have a great week ahead and join us Friday for a fresh edition of Perspectives. My name is Nathaniel Dongo. Goodbye.